So I was just about to go to sleep, but I've decided to make this video after seeing Dodash's video, and I'm like, I just have to. So she's had a video up where she says, "Don't sell yourself short," right? And she's previously already spoken about why she's not going back to a 9 to 5. And I want to share my story about why I don't work a 9 to 5, even though I don't have a job, I don't have an income, and I have 2 kids. So yes. I have a 5-year old and a 9 month old. I do have a husband who works, but it's not a high income job. It's a very low income job, and we don't make enough money to actually really do what we want to do every month. And so many people have often pressured me into getting a 9 to 5 job, and I myself have been looking for jobs for the past almost 4 years. I've been looking, trying, putting out applications everywhere. We did move across countries 2, almost 3 years ago, and that has made the search a lot more difficult. And so in the beginning, after I had my daughter, I had extreme postpartum depression, and that's why I wasn't working. I was also still very sick, and so I didn't work. But after a while, I did want to have a job in order to have a dual income home. Although I was not really ready to put her in daycare, I was willing to do the work. Now, I wasn't getting through with jobs, so I kind of stayed home and tried to do side hustles, bake, cook, sell food. COVID happened, everything. So we were just kind of doing things from home, baking and selling and stuff like that. So during COVID, I didn't really have a job. I didn't find a job. And afterwards, same. I then started to do some kind of consultancy work, like a freelancer. And so they would give me jobs and I would just do that. But I wasn't working a 9 to 5. I was at home with my daughter. I was able to do just a project at a time and then just get money like that. But I knew even when I was younger that I did not want to work a 9 to 5. And when I would talk to people about it, they would kind of give me the "that's all there is to life" kind of feeling. You have to go to school, you have to finish university, you have to get a degree, and then you have to try and get another degree and another degree in order to have a certain standard of life. But nowadays, you see there are a lot of people who have multiple degrees, but some of them are unable to really still get a good paying job because of how the world is, the economic situation, the market, etc. Different reasons. I'm not sure about all of it, but I kept feeling as though that was not for me. But how do you explain this when you have 2 kids and there are bills to be paid and you guys are barely ever making ends meet, and you're always needing people and needing people and needing people for money or needing people for stuff, but you don't want to go work a 9 to 5? I wasn't actively telling people I didn't want to work a 9 to 5. I just wasn't doing it. But on the flip side, I knew I had a responsibility towards my daughter. So I was still sending out applications. I was going to things. I was really trying to get a job because I was like, until whatever I want to do, comes to life, I have to do what I have to do. And so, like I said, I moved countries, and here I wasn't able to, find a job, which is really shocking to me because I have a bachelor's, and I know that ain't a lot in the world where you have, doctorates, just everywhere. But I thought at least I could start up, and I was going to do my master's degree and just climb the corporate ladder until I was able to achieve my dreams. Now, this was never something that I wanted to do. I never wanted to climb the corporate ladder. I never wanted to work in a corporate world. But again, I knew I had a responsibility. I'm a mom. I have to make ends meet. I have to do the best I can for my kids. And so I didn't care that I didn't want to do it. I was willing to do it. I was willing to do different jobs. So while I couldn't find a corporate job, I was doing baking again and cooking again and making this and doing this and trying to get orders for stuff and doing all kinds of little things here and there to try and get some money. But nothing was making me feel happy or satisfied because I knew this was not for me. How do you explain this when people are asking you, can you do this a month and can you do that a month? Like the other day, my husband came home like yesterday and he said, there's somebody who needs a secretary for a month or 2 months. Do you want to do it? And I said no. And he understood because he's been seeing that I'm on a mission on YouTube and stuff. But there are people who look at me funny because it feels to them as though I am sniffing my nose at a 9 to 5 or at jobs that I consider lesser or that they think that I see as lesser jobs. I've done all kinds of jobs while I was in school. I've done all kinds of jobs, okay? And when it comes to what my kids need and stuff or what the home needs, I would be willing to work a job just because I need the money. But I've reached a point where I hear God's voice so clearly in what He wants me to do that I cannot go and do a job for somebody where I know I will not be doing what He called me to do. I have had to reach the point where, although I'm not monetized, I'm so far from my YouTube goals, I'm so far from my financial goals that I still have to persist in it just because I know for a fact that He told me to do it. And this is why I don't work a 9 to 5. It's not because I think there's something wrong with a 9 to 5, because if nobody was working a 9 to 5, who would be doing the jobs in the offices and these things that need to be done? I absolutely have no problem with people working a 9 to 5. I just knew God had not called me to do the same. He also does not want me to leave my kids in daycare while I go work for $100 or $200. This is a personal conviction I have. Has nothing to do with what you have to do. You do the best that you can do for your children. This is just a conviction that God has put on my heart. And He says, I will give you work from home. Do not just send them any and everywhere, to stay for the whole day when I can give you work from home. And so I've been a little bit frustrated because for a long time I don't have an income and it feels like my YouTube is just not taking off. And I'm feeling like, what is going to happen, God? I really need something to happen. We really need a second income. We really need the finances. And God is just telling me, trust me. And it's been a little bit hard. My faith sometimes wavers, but I persist. I've been trying to be as consistent as I could, and it's been working out so far on YouTube. So when I saw her video about, don't sell yourself short, I was like, there are very few people who will understand what she's talking about, but it is those who are chosen for something special who will know. And a lot of people will look at me, I'm sure, and think, you're just lazy. Just go do a regular job. Everybody wants to be on YouTube and make money, but it is not that. It is literally what I was created for. I was created to share with the world things that God has given me and share my gifts and share His message to the world and bring hope to people. And I will not go and work for somebody for a month or 2 months or even a year to make a very small amount of money while neglecting my home and neglecting my children and neglecting my purpose. I was created for a purpose, and that is what I am here to fulfill, not a 9 to 5. I was created to do what God told me to do, not to just go and work a 9 to 5. And although many, many, many people might not understand this, once God has His hand on my life, that is all that is important. And again, sometimes it's hard. I want to see the money now. We need the money now. I need to be monetized now. There's a lot of things hanging in the balance for my family if YouTube would not work out for me, but it will. Because it is God who called me, and when He calls me, He equipped me, and He made sure that His blessing would be on my life. And although I'm only getting 20 views and 10 views and 40 views on most of my videos, I am thankful because I know that God will do what He has promised, which is He will multiply and He will bless us and He will make this an income and He will help me and use me to be a light to other people, a beacon of hope to them, so that they will know Him and know His truth and know that He's there to save and know that He is their God and know that soon He will be coming and that everything, will be all right when He's back. And so, although many other people may not understand and will feel as though I'm wasting my time, or will feel as though I think I'm too good for a 9 to 5, or will feel as though I'm just lazy or not willing to do certain things, I had to reach a point because I was sending out applications in every single country imaginable. We were here, but we were still looking. If I would find a job elsewhere, I would just move there or move there or move there or move there. Whatever would work, we would take it. And nothing has worked. I have not gotten a job in the last 4 years. And I have a degree. Even if you give me a job of a secretary, it's a job. But I was never getting through with these things. And no matter what I was trying, it wasn't working out. And God was just closing doors. And I would have the exact job description, I would have all the qualifications, and doors were just being shut in my face. And God kept saying, I want you to do this. I want you to speak about this. I want you to come on here and educate about children and educate about this and educate about that. And I was scared to do it because it felt as though nobody was going to watch me, like she spoke about in one of her videos, you know. I don't have the clothes for it. I don't have the ability right now to be doing my face and be doing my hair. I lack the strength. I lack the courage. I lack some of the things I need to buy and get to look the part. And so I'm so happy that she has proven that it is possible to come on here and be you and still do what God asks you to do and be successful, because it has held me back so long. I have disobeyed God's command and his voice for what to do for so long, just because of fear and embarrassment and thinking nobody's going to want to watch my videos because I don't look the part. And sometimes it's still hard. It's still hard for me to show up the way I look. And, but I'm here. And I just want to thank God. I want to thank every single one of you who comments on my videos. It really encourages me. Every single one of you who watches my videos, who likes my videos, it really encourages me to keep going. And I know God is also testing me, because I was the type of girl who was always giving up, and he wants me to persevere this time. So I thank every single one of you who is here. I want to encourage you that if you know that you're called for something bigger than what other people are pushing on you, you don't have to fall for what they're saying. You can stand for whatever God has called you, because if God calls you to it, he will bring you through it. And don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Don't be hesitant. Just go. If you're sure that it is him who is telling you what to do, just go and he will bless you. I cannot wait to be an inspiration like Dodash has been to so many of you, because I want to prove to you that God answers prayers right now. It is hard. Once we've paid rent, there's usually no money for stuff. I remember the last time we could just buy food, go somewhere and just eat out. Or my birthday is coming up. I'm turning 30 in a couple of days in the beginning of November. And I already know I have no plans other than waking up, being grateful, and thanking God for life. There's not money to really do stuff. I wear the same 5 church dresses over and over and over and over again. Even though, I go on the podium a lot and stuff like that, and it's slightly embarrassing, I still go and I still do it. And it's hard sometimes because everybody's looking at you. I have one shoe, it's a flat shoe. It ain't no pretty shoe, it's just a black shoe, and I just have to wear it every single week. I go up, I come down. I know everybody sees what I look like. There are some people in church who sometimes offer, should he help me get a dress? And I thank every single one of you as well for the love, for wanting to do these things for me. And it's hard. Sometimes it's embarrassing. It's really hard. And I see, sometimes I dress my kids in a certain way. And then, their friends have a lot prettier clothes. And I'm not the type to be like, oh, they have it, I should have it too. It's not that. It's just that I've strived to have something better for them. I personally strive to try and give them a much better life than the one we have, just kind of scrapping things together and, never really knowing how you're going to make ends meet, or if something happens, how we're going to pay for this, or if something simple breaks in the house, or her shoe breaks for school. You're stressed because now you need $25 for a new school shoe, and you don't know where that money's going to come from. And if you take that money, that means you're going to be eating literal scraps, because that's your food money. That's what I strive to get out of the rat race of when something breaks, or when he uses more diapers than he usually would, you're stressed. When he uses more milk than he usually would, you're stressed, because you would have calculated that you can use the bottle or the tin for this long, or the box of diapers this long, and suddenly you're a week short of diapers. And those things should not be stressing me out. I am a child of God. These things should not be stressing me out. I am chosen by God. These things should not be a bother to me. I belong to God. I am an heir. I am royalty. And it's not about what others have. It's about what I don't have, and what I know I could provide for my children if I just trust God, obey him and follow his instructions. And so it's not about comparison, and it's not about wanting what others have, or just being envious. It's not about that. It's about knowing that God has more in store for me and more in store for my family. But it's just disobedience that has sometimes held me back. Not moving when he said to move. Not stepping out in faith when he says to step out. Not sharing what he tells me to share. Not doing what he calls me to do. It's what keeps me back. And so because of this, I'm not trying to be braver about it. But I'm just trying to let you know, do what God tells you to do. That is the only way to be happy. That is the only way to be prosperous. If you know a 9 to 5 is for you and you're doing a great job, don't watch others who are saying, they're not working a 9 to 5. Do your 9 to 5. There's pride in honest work. There's pride in being dedicated. There's pride. Everything that your hand finds to do, do it with all your might as if doing it unto the Lord. This is a scripture that calls us that whatever we find to do, even our housework, those who think that being a homemaker is a lesser job, everything your hand finds to do it with all your might as of doing it unto the Lord. And this is something that has inspired me lately to try and do my best more in things. And I want to encourage you to do the same. If God is calling you to step out in faith, step out. You will never lose with God. And I will prove it to you when God blesses me and blesses his channel. He already blesses me. We eat every day. I don't know how. We have what we need. I don't know how. We're able to pay rent. I don't know how. But step out in faith. When God calls you, step out in faith. And he will bless you for your obedience. When God calls you, he wants to not only be heard, but he wants to be obeyed. So obey him. This is just what I want to tell you guys. This is my reason why I don't work a 9 to 5, because God, when I started fasting and praying, he made it very, very clear to me that's not the path for me. And I kept trying to find a job. He never granted me one. So now I stopped. I stopped looking, and now I'm doing what he told me to do. And I know he will bless it because I've been obedient to him. I love you guys so much, genuinely. I started to feel like I have friends because you guys are commenting on my videos and I'm commenting back. And I just miss you guys when you don't comment. So keep commenting on my videos. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.